Welcome to the University of Montevallo.
Thank you very much. My name's Michael Rogers, and I'm here from the Rochester Institute of Technology's School for American Crafts in Rochester, New York. And we're here blowing glass today. We have a furnace over there that's at 2,400 degrees, and we've been working since yesterday. This is my first time in Alabama. I'm pleased to be here, and it's especially exciting because this is a brand new furnace here for the University of Montevallo's art department. And there aren't many universities with glass furnaces, so it's pretty exciting.
Okay, can you describe to us the process of glass blowing?
Well, glass blowing involves a tank of molten glass that's at 2,400 degrees. And we gather the glass out of the furnace with blowpipes. As you can see over there, Jeremy's blowing glass. He has about a 6-foot long steel pipe that he sticks into the furnace and gathers out the molten glass. We shape it with wooden blocks and on a steel table over there and with newspaper and various tools. And then we blow air into the blowpipe and we're inflating the glass.
What are we going to get out of this collaboration that you guys are doing?
Well, I hope we come up with, I know we'll come up with a lot of finished objects. Our main purpose here is to develop some new ideas. Richard Hirsch, the senior professor in ceramics at the School for American Crafts, and I have been collaborating with glass and ceramics for several years now. And we just started to come down here at the invitation of Professor Scott Meyer, and we're looking forward to collaborating with the artists and professors here. And so we hope to develop some really good ideas that we can carry into the future.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me and telling me more about glass blowing. And we're gonna go over to Timeca McCoy, she's with Richard Hirsch with ceramics.
Thanks, Rachel. Now I'm here with Mr. Rick Hirsch from Rochester, New York. We want to welcome you to Montevallo.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Well, what brought you here? I know it's for the ceramics, but could you tell us a little about the collaboration?
Myself and Professor Rogers, we both teach in Rochester, New York at the School for American Crafts. And we're down here to collaborate with two of your professors from Montevallo, Scott Meyer and Ted Metz, on a collaboration for an exhibition that we're tentatively calling High Heat, which basically deals with objects surrounded and sculptures surrounding the melting of metal. And of course, Birmingham was the iron capital of the United States, so it's appropriate that we come down here and make art in a city that has a history of this, with our theme being the same thing as the city's history.
That is very neat. Now, I read somewhere that you're called one of the most important ceramic artists in the U.S. How does that make you feel?
Ridiculous. You know, I mean, everything is relative. I'm just trying to amuse myself and continue making things that interest me. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know how to do anything else. So, you know, all those kinds of titles are not that important, really.
Well, that sounds really great. So could you tell us a little bit about the ceramic process?
Well, what we're doing right now is I'm throwing on the wheel a part, which is going to be a large ladle for one of the crucibles that either Scott or myself or Michael is making in glass. So we're sort of collaborating by making individual parts, and then we're going to assemble them when they're all done, and it's going to be a sculpture about objects that dealt with high heat, ladling metal. And it really is all about alchemy, you know, alchemy of materials, the transformation of materials. For example, glass at one time was an opaque sand, but if you introduce it to high heat, it becomes a liquid, a clear, transparent liquid. And then when you cool it, it becomes a solid. The same thing with certain metals. You know, you find iron ore and you introduce heat to it, it becomes a liquid, and then when it cools, it becomes a solid. And clay is basically ground up, weathered rocks. And the earth is made up primarily of rock. And clay is one of the most prevalent materials on the earth's crust. And it's a soft plastic material, but when you introduce it to heat, it's transformed into a hard, permanent material. So it's all about the transformation and alchemy of materials. That's what the theme is. And the materials that we're all using deal with the element of fire. Ceramics deals with it, glass deals with it, and metals deals with it. This isn't like painting where you don't normally deal with fire in paint, you know, oil paints, or you fire up acrylics, you melt the plastic. So our expertise in terms of our own materials very much integrates the element of fire. So that's the other reason that we've chosen this theme of high heat, because heat and what we do and the theme of the show, it's all one circular kind of holistic thinking.
Well, we thank you so much and welcome to Montevallo again. I hope you enjoy your stay, and I guess we'll let you get back to your ceramics.
You know, at the end of the week, we'll begin to, all of this activity will coalesce, and you'll start to see some of the objects we're making.
Okay. Well, thank you. We can't wait for it. Thank you. Back to you guys in the studio.